Hello everybody, how are you guys? This video is going to be another tip, a single tip this time for newer rideshare drivers. We're expanding on a tip I suggested in another video. We're going to expand on it a little bit and explain it in deeper detail. And that tip is, you don't want to do what I'm doing now. I just dropped off a passenger at their combination pizza ice cream shop. I said, what do you mean you serve pizzas and serve ice cream? They said, no, it's ice cream pizza. It's a new idea they have where they plop the ice cream and spread it around on top of the pizza crust. We'll see how that one goes. But now I'm driving, and you don't want to drive aimlessly around after dropping off a passenger. You want to move to an area where you're more likely to get a ride. Now you say, well, Joe, just tell me where those areas are and I'll go there. Hey, I don't know your town. I don't know your city. Maybe people want to drive at, it's morning right now. It's morning in Los Angeles, okay? Maybe in your city, they want to drive to the theater, and they go to the movies in the morning. Or maybe they are the kind of people that like to go to the library in the very early morning. I mean, who knows what they want to do in your town. Maybe your town is filled with people that love Fast and the Furious movies, and they collect them and trade them and sell them on eBay. And they go over to each other's homes at 7 o'clock in the morning and watch Fast and Furious. Okay? Different types of, how many are in the series? Like 27? 27 Fast and Furious movies. Who knows what people in your town want to do? Well, you got to figure that out and figure out where they'll be. Now, there are legitimate reasons you may want to drive around, and it depends. Are you doing a study for NASA, and you have 38,000 sensors implanted in your car that show your whereabouts from space so that they can track you and feed all that data into the study for a new lunar rover module, a new lunar module that will rove around the moon and rove around Mars, and it's the size of a minivan. In case Uber and Lyft want to expand into Mars, this study will help them, and perhaps you are one of the test cases in that study. Well, then you may want to drive around. It'll give them more data. Are you a part-time scene casting person, okay, for one of the movie companies? And are you scouting, a location scout they call it? Are you scouting locations for upcoming movies starring the biggest names in the business? Okay, then maybe it helps you to drive around aimlessly like I am through the hills and dales of Santa Clarita or wherever the heck I am. I have no idea. That might be, okay? Maybe you're the kind of person, just like Lionel Richie said when he wrote the song Dancing on the Ceiling. He said he used to go out in the middle of the night in LA and drive around in his Jeep to get inspiration for songs. Maybe that's you, okay? This particular road is coming to an end, and I have to turn around myself, guys. Maybe, in other words, maybe you're an artist and you get inspiration from driving aimlessly around. Well, most of us are not those people. We're not in a NASA study. We're not Lionel Richie. We're not scouting movie locations. All right? But if you're just a regular person trying to maximize your dollars with Uber and Lyft, then you want to position yourself in a spot that you are more than likely to get a ride. So let's use Los Angeles as an example. Now, where do people set up? Where would you go? What would be a good example of where you want to go? Well, it's very common for people to leave from the airport very early in the morning, like 3 to 5 a.m. They'll go to the airport. Who's going to the airport at 3 to 5 a.m.? Well, business travelers, and they tend to live in West LA, the Beverly Hillses, the Hollywoods, the Bel Airs, the Brentwoods. Any community starting with B that has big homes that are worth more than $3 million, that's a pretty good location. You're gonna get a call. If you don't get a call to go to the airport, then something is amiss. That means that you've probably set up in an area that's not going to the airport. But of course, travelers to the airport, there are all kinds. But those are a high degree. See what I'm saying? There's a high propensity of business travelers from those communities going to the airport in the early morning. Now, there's also people going downtown. They're also going to downtown from the far west side or the far east side. Or, you know what? Who else is going to work it early in the morning? People in the Flower District. Lots of people in the Flower District going to work in the morning. Warehouse workers, dock workers going to work in the morning. Now, you then get retail workers later on, okay, when the stores open at that. So you just got to know your town. How do you get to know your town? Well, you just got to get out there and drive. So the thing is, you're going to make mistakes. Now, you can't worry about mistakes in life. Guys, if I had a nickel for every mistake I'd made, I'd be richer than Bill Gates. If I had a nickel for every mistake I've made in life. I mean, I have failed in every relationship with every woman I've ever dated, and I had all kinds of excuses for years until I finally came up with what I call the Jimmy Buffett theory. And that is, if something went wrong in the relationship, it's probably my fault. And once I looked in the man in the mirror and said, all right, Joe, the reason that she threw every item she owned in her apartment at your head, every knickknack, every salt shaker, every sugar canister, every pepper mill, every appliance, the iron, okay, the plates, one at a time. I don't mean stacks of plates. I mean she took them one at a time and tossed them at my head like Frisbees. Guys, I was dodging plates like I was in the Matrix, okay? Because of something I said, and as soon as the words came out of my mouth, I'm like, oh my God. Have you ever wanted to pull words from midair and put them back in your mouth and swallow them so that they're never heard by the ears of the person that you said them to? And then you know it's too late. And there's that microsecond where she looks down as if to decide, did he just say what I thought he said? And her brain says, yes, he did. And all of a sudden that thing starts flying. Everything in the kitchen. We're talking cups and glasses and mugs. We're talking frying pans. We're talking that George Foreman grill came flying at my head. But fortunately, I've got the moves of a cat and the experience of going through this several times. So don't worry about making mistakes out there on the road when you're ride sharing. That's how you learn. You know, you're going to waste time. You're going to waste gas, but that's like an education that you're going to get in your early months. That's part of your tuition. Just keep positive and keep learning. And pretty soon you'll be an experienced pro, a grizzled pro. Hope that helps.